super welcome everyone. I've also had a chance to meet some of you and have a bit of a conversation with why you're here and whereabouts you're from, etc. Typically what I would do is go around and really figure out like why you're here, what you want to get out of it, and not necessarily for my purpose, but mainly for the speakers tonight, so they know if there's any particular point that they're going to touch on. But what we want to do after the event is we buy in some snacks and some food and so on, and I really want to give you guys a chance to get any questions answered within the field of environment, sustainability, visas, which always there's a lot of people on student visas and very international crowds. So we also have a migration agent. How's that agent now? Migration agent? Yeah, Daniel. We will answer any questions around the immigration and visa part as well. So after the event, don't rush away, really get all the questions answered for it. But first of all, my name is Anton, and very nice to meet you all, and you're welcome to the space. What I'd like to do first and foremost is just run through a little bit about Let's Go Planet. Who's heard about Let's Go Planet? Anyone? Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the support, I really appreciate it. But that's great if you haven't, because it gives them some purpose to this one. So I'm representing Let's Go Planet, which the way we look at things is that life is all about growth and experiences and progression. And the way we look at it is that you grow and you progress in life through anything like travel, education, experiences. Probably a lot of you guys, because you're from a different country, probably feel like you have you've grown and developed a little bit since you first arrived in Australia. Who would agree with that? Yeah? Even if you've been here for a couple of months or if you've been here for a few years. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, you usually feel a feeling of growth. And when we look at the space of anything that provides that sense of growth, like travel, like education, like migration, like moving to a different country, what you typically have to do is you have to go to either a travel agency, if you're looking to travel, you need to go to a student agency if you want to apply for a student visa or find a course, or go to a migration agency to be able to sort out visas and moving to one country or another. But where Let's Go Planet comes into the picture is we're looking to become the one-stop shop within that space, if that makes sense. So the way we look at it is that we need to connect you to your destination regardless of destination and goal. All right? The way we work, and especially if you haven't had a chance to see us or hear us, we also have very busy and active social media channels that we do a lot of work through. But the way we do work, we're not necessarily the typical student agency. A lot of you guys on a student visa maybe have had a student agency that have helped you with student applications, finding a school, etc. The way we work is a little bit different. We work a lot with partnerships. So we want to be the one-stop shop, but we don't know everything, and we don't claim to know everything. But we work with industry experts across all those industries and work in partnerships. So like ACBI is a school. We're not a school, but we partner up with them because we believe they do a really good job in what they do. We got Daniel here from the migration side of things. Within travel, the travel companies that we're working with, we partner up with, are the ones we believe are doing the best work in the industry. So we're working with industry experts. We also have a very multicultural approach to it, which you would have seen here. So tonight I met people from a lot of different countries, not just South America, which is a lot of, but it's in general within the education part of Australia. But Italy, China, Serbia, etc. So it's a spread out from Sweden. There's no other Scandinavians in here, right? No? Scandinavia? No? We're not that many people anyway. But in terms of nationalities, there's a lot of different nationalities. And the way we look at it as well is the world is just getting smaller and smaller. You must agree with that, right? It's easier and easier to travel. It doesn't really matter where you live at the moment. If you have an internet connection today, you can connect to 7 billion people, but you also have an opportunity to do work literally from wherever you are. Last night, I'm working within the freelancing space, and last night I was connecting with a girl who we're doing a project together. She's in Kenya, right? So it's just amazing. Like, I think it's awesome. The world is getting really, really small. But we also understand there's different cultures, different languages. Sometimes you're more comfortable speaking to someone in your mother tongue etc. So we have a very multicultural approach to it. We have a team that speaks over 7 different languages, and also these partnerships we're working with are across a lot of different countries around the world as well. We do have an online portal that we deliver all our services from, but that's again just because we want to be able to service people regardless of where people are based. So yesterday we were helping out a guy who is based in Spain at the moment. It doesn't really matter. With today's technology that you have, we want to be able to work with everyone across the globe. Now, when you do jump on our online portal or the website, you will not just see a lot of content in terms of blogs, social media, tips, advice, etc. And everything that we do put out there is stuff that we have experienced ourselves. And so anyone in here who is an international student, the emotions that you go through or have gone through in terms of maybe just simple things like maybe confusion, like how long are you going to stay in Australia? You just, stuff like that, you just don't know. Or stress in terms of you might have had challenges financially, or you might have had something happening back home, and if you live in Australia, you know it's really far away from everything, like everything. So you might go through different emotions, and any of those emotions I can certainly relate to. But it's also because I've experienced it myself. So anything that we promote through our online portal, whether that is a travel company, whether that is a school, anything that we do partner up with, we've tested ourselves. So we will speak from experience. I think that is super, super, super important. All right? So regardless of that destination, regardless of what goal you have, and all of that has to be personal. Like, if I would tell you what to do, it would be my goal, and it's something that is not necessarily your passion. I think the message for tonight, again, back to my first point, I like to go around to really feel what people want to get out of it, but environment seems to be this thing that either you're into it or you're not. It's like, there's not necessarily anything in between. I've represented and worked with WWF. A lot of you guys will be familiar with that, yeah? So I worked as a marketing consultant with them for quite some time. And I found that from experience, like people are really into it or not, and obviously you all want to stay the planet, which is great, and stay in Australia as well, which is a beautiful place. But it feels like it is that part of it. So the last thing I want to say before I'm going to introduce the speakers is that truly do something that you're passionate about, and if environment is that place and that space, really put in the graft and put in the work. In terms of like visas and opportunities to stay in Australia, so all of that is a natural consequence when you do something you love, right? And I really say that from experience. Cool? So the whole idea of tonight is that you're going to get an opportunity to hear from different angles and different perspectives within environment and sustainability. So we also have Denisha, who's a student, and she's in the program. And the program is, I'll let her explain it all, but it's the first in Australia. And she's been in the program since April, so she will share her experience with it. Really, really encourage you all to ask a lot of questions afterwards, because you will get there is no like grey zone, like you'll get the truth and the transparency with it as well, so that's really good. We also have Enrique, who's a specialist in the field of environmental specialist?
Educator.
You're an educator in environment, yeah? And then we got Fabio, who's representing ACBI as well, which is again first school to provide this type of course in Australia as well, who will share his experience from the school, and also we've got Daniel from the immigration perspective. So we want to cover all different angles. But I really, really encourage you that afterwards, once we're done with it, hang back, network. There's also like-minded people as well across different nationalities. Last time we ran an event similar to this, it was amazing to see how people connected with each other. And really, which is great, and not necessarily just new friends, but it's also maybe people you can do business with in the future, or one thing leads to something else, you never know. Look, without further ado, I'll leave it over to Fabio, who will present ACBI, and we'll take it from there. So give Fabio a round of applause. All right.